quick.
Troy Brown is the only one that I feel that should play corner, not Joe McKnight. And this will be the demise of Alex Rodriguez as we know it. And you can trade it to LA, and you're on a team with Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash. You need to play. They keep hitting the quarterback like this. They're QB safety, blah, blah, blah. No, if you want to bring up the Boston Celtic argument, you can go right ahead. But there's a difference between Kevin Garnett and Kurt Thomas. But it's Tom Brady's offense, and they finally found a running game too. And welcome everybody to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, where my opinion is anything but sportsmanlike. And of course, we have a lot to get to. I've already posted on Facebook topics we're discussing tonight. Of course, a lot of NBA news, a lot of NFL news. On top of that, we're in Plattsburgh. And the Plattsburgh men's basketball team made the NCAA tournament. And on top of that, they have a home game this Saturday. I'm going to get into that, as well as finals previews for high school basketball. It's going to be Peru, the number 1 seed, versus Beatontown, the number 2 seed. Hunter Bruno versus Keegan Ryan. I will get to that shortly. Nonetheless, let's get right into it. One of the top stories of this week so far has been that Alex Smith has been conditionally traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean conditionally by the fact that it won't go into effect until March 12th once free agency begins. But the trade consists of Alex Smith going over to the Kansas City Chiefs for a second-round pick and a conditional pick in the following year's draft. Now, I want to touch upon something. Almost 20 years ago, in April of 1993, a certain 49er quarterback was traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, Joe Montana in 1993 was traded from the Niners to the Chiefs. Find that a little awkward that 20 years later, it's the same scenario in a way. Now, Alex Smith is not Joe Montana. Alex Smith is not a top 50, top 100 quarterback of all time by any means. No. But he was the leader of that team, got hurt, got replaced. And that's the same thing with Montana. Got hurt, got replaced. Smith got hurt. Colin Kaepernick stepped in, and they just trade him away. It's like Kansas City's just accepting anyone for the quarterback's position at this point. But Kansas City made a great, great deal by getting Alex Smith as their quarterback. They'll be cutting Matt Castle, which is, I can't complain there. You didn't do nothing last year, as well as Brady Quinn, who's no longer part of your roster. So you have a proven starter in Alex Smith. Now you have a proven coach in Andy Reid, one of the greatest Philadelphia Eagles head coaches of all time. Didn't win a Super Bowl, been to one, went to 5 NFC Championship games, only winning 1. But still a great coach. It's a fresh start for Andy Reid. It's a fresh start for Alex Smith. It's a win-win in my book. Now, to the 49ers side, also a win-win. You got rid of the contract of Alex Smith. You weren't going to have him start. Maybe they would have did a backup role, maybe, but you can go to the free agency and got a quarterback that's kind of like Colin Kaepernick, a speedy guy with a good arm. You can find someone. Trust me, there's someone out there, even if you have to go to the draft. Also, you get a second-round pick in this year's draft. What's there not to like about that? Another proven prospect you can get in the second round. It'll be the first pick of the second round, I believe, unless there's some trading debacle that I was uninformed of. Nonetheless, a top second round pick, basically if you want to put it in terms of like this, it's a guy that basically fallen out of the first round, you could basically pick up in the second round, just like that. So easy, so quick. It's a perfect fit. It's both a win-win. But to quickly segue, though, back to the 49ers, to another team, they actually want a player now. They want Darrelle Revis. Talks have been going out. Oh, we want Darrelle Revis on our team. We'll give them what the Jets want. Do you really want to do that? Do you want to go get a head case of a guy? Mind you, I'm a Jets fan. A head case cornerback who's probably, when he plays, the number one quarterback in all of the NFL. So right there, you have a back and forth issue. And on top of that, contract. Contract is not in your favor. If you're the 49ers, you have to pay him boatloads of money just for 1 year. And if that's the case, he could walk away. He could walk away after this coming year if he does get traded to the 49ers. Or on any team for that matter. If he stays with the Jets, he can walk unless they tag him, which they probably will be stupid. If they keep him, they will tag him. They'll just hold out again. That seems to be the trend with Lattrelle Revis. You like to hold out, come back after getting more money, and get hurt. It's just a repeating pattern. The Jets haven't figured it out. Time to trade this man. If this would be a win for the Jets. The Jets would get rid of this head case, the monkey off their back. You can develop another corner. He won't be as good as Lattrelle Revis when he's 100% healthy and on the field. But you can get a guy who won't get hurt as much and can be a proven starter. Is that guy on your roster right now? Probably not. Probably you need to develop him, but you have a great defensive coach in Rex Ryan, who should have been fired, but gets 1 more year to prove himself, basically. I mean, Rex Ryan, you're a defensive-oriented coach. So, in a way, your offense is not really at fault, but it sort of is too, because you're the head coach. First off, Tony Sparano was not the answer at offensive coordinator. Don't know what you were thinking there. Unless you were starting Tim Tebow at quarterback, that was the only reason why Tony Sparano should have been your offensive coordinator. Sean Green, once again, 1,000 yards on the season. That's what he's been doing for the past 2 or 3 years now. But the Jets, you need to make this trade. You need to make this trade happen. Send him away across America to San Francisco. Let that be Harbaugh's problem. Let that be his problem. But I'm going to say something. I think Harbaugh can control Lattrelle Revis. Example of this, Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis, when Mike Singletary was coaching him, back and forth, just yelling, screaming at each other, pulled Vernon out of one of his games. Vernon Davis was a head case at one point. Some of you may not remember this, but Vernon Davis had one of the biggest egos and just like to flaunt around and taunt and everything before his success. Now, top 3 tight end in the league, doesn't talk so much anymore, knows his role, shuts his mouth, and wins and plays effective. I think if you send him Lattrelle Revis to San Francisco, it will be the right fit. It's a perfect fit. It's a perfect match. Add another corner because Culliver ain't doing it for you. We saw that in the Super Bowl. Thanks for ruining my pick, Culliver. Was really counting on you not to screw up, but you did several times. Back to my point, Lattrelle Revis, perfect fit. Great idea. San Francisco will probably now have the best offseason to date by getting a second-round pick for Alex Smith and getting one of the best corners in the league, Lattrelle Revis. Moving on now to the draft. And now the draft it's a little confusing this year. I mean, there's definitely talent out there. But talks of our guard going to be going number 1. And that would be the first time in history a guard would go number 1. I mean, it's heavy linemen this year. I mean, for quarterbacks, Geno Smith, Matt Barkley, and nothing. But it could turn to something like the Russell Wilson situation, so don't sleep on that. Running backs, there's a lot. I mean, Marcus Lattimore, who could turn some heads if he does get injured. That's the problem with Marcus Lattimore. If he stays injury-free, he can be a very, very, very good running back in this league. But he's got to stay off the injuries. And that's the problem with him. He's definitely one of the favorite college guys I've watched in the past couple of years. He's explosive. He just trucks people. That's Marcus Lattimore's way of doing it in South Carolina. But will a team take a chance? Yet to find out. Wait a couple months. Anyway, one of the top things that was overstretched. It was stretched out so much. I got tired of listening on ESPN Radio, on ESPN, on every single sports site about Manti Te'o not running fast enough, and Harbaugh of the Ravens just turning his head away, turning around, because he ran a 4.82 40-yard dash. Now, I first listened to this, I'm like, oh, wow, that's a little slow. But then I'm thinking, he's a middle linebacker. Does he really need to run fast? I mean, if this was a middle linebacker, let's say Manti Te'o ran a 5.1. Okay, there's a little cause for concern right there. I mean, then that means he's kind of slow. But 4.82, I don't see a problem with that. They say the average is 4.7. Okay, that's 1 second off. He's been relaxing for a while. Give it time. I'm pretty sure he can crack it to make it like a 4.79. Because then once you step from college to the NFL, it's a whole different game. Your training regimen needs to pick up, and it should for Manti Te'o. But we were talking about Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis is a head case. This, on the other hand, he's not the head case. He is just a... I don't know what to call him, because he's a media grabber. Let's go with that. He's a media grabber for whether he wants to or not. He is now the face of the media until his career is over. And even after his career, he'll still be the media grabber. After all this catfish stuff with the girlfriend that was really a guy, which was really a girl, which was really someone's cousin, wasn't really existing, who really never died, sort of did. I don't know. Don't care anymore. That was months ago. Now the NFL draft, people are saying first round. People are saying top 10. People are saying second round. People are saying late second round. It's a middle linebacker, and as far as I'm concerned, it's what you do on the field, not off the field. In the way of this media, I don't think he wants it. I don't think he wants all this media attention on him. I mean, for instance, there's a difference between him and a guy that does drugs, drinks and drives, Ben Roethlisberger with the strippers. But it's not like he did something bad, or guns, or killing somebody, or anything like that, manslaughter, anything. He did nothing to not harm anybody, but he did nothing that, well, he did nothing really bad. He did nothing bad. Manti Te'o, for whether he lied or not, he lied. Okay, everyone lies. Get over it. Everyone lies. Watching a video in my anthropology class on economics, and they would keep showing the presidents and telling the speech, and how the presidents would lie in front of a national audience, and they would say, oh, we're holding, just like trying to keep the peace, or we're trying to maintain the area of like Cuba, Puerto Rico, or Guam, or Vietnam, maintain the peace, aka war. They didn't want to say war, but they meant war. But back to Manti Te'o, it's all on the field that matters, in my opinion, and that's the one that really matters. Draft him. Not a top 10 pick. No one's going to take the risk, unless the Jets do, and the Jets would be stupid, or the Bills are the only two teams that I feel would be stupid enough to take Manti Te'o in the top 10. Other than that, late first round, I'm I don't know anymore. I'm thinking Giants or the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the two teams will get Manti Te'o. Makes sense. Because right now, I'm not sure if the Giants signed Chase Blackburn or not. If not, all you'll have is Mark Herzlich on your team for middle linebacker, unless you were to sign someone or switch someone over. Can't hurt to have Manti Te'o. I mean, it's bad because you're in New York, and then it gets blown up if you're in New York. A la Tim Tebow, a la Mark Sanchez. Well, that's just Jets, basically. Oh, a la Plexico Burress with the gun situation. That's in any state. I don't think he's going to jail, besides New York City, because that's a law down there and here. So, New York is not helpful at all. They'll love you one day and tear you apart the next. And Manti Te'o, if he goes to New York, if he goes to the Giants, he'll be torn apart immediately. And hopefully he's got thick skin. He better have some very thick skin if he were to go to New York. I mean, if it's Pittsburgh's a different story. They're not too media hyped. But New York, and Los Angeles, but there's no LA team. So Hollywood and California or New York are the two places you want to steer clear of. That's too media stretchiness. And it's bad for the league. Good for ESPN, because ESPN's no longer showing highlights. They are now a magazine. So every time you watch SportsCenter, it's SportsCenter, the magazine, not SportsCenter. Let's watch some highlights and talk about that. No, let's get in some random guy who played in the NFL for 6-7 years. Or let's bring in Jesse Palmer, who's a great NFL expert or college expert. Yeah, okay. That's you let me know what Jesse Palmer did in the NFL. I bet you most people could not tell you which team drafted him, which team he was on in the NFL. And yeah, he's an expert. But Manti Te'o, good fit for Giants, good fit for Steelers. He will go late first round. If he drops to early second, I wouldn't be surprised. But he's not a top 10 pick, and he's not a late second round pick. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on the one and only 93.9 WQKE Plattsburgh.
Groundbreaking radio.
Maybe you cleaned your ears too vigorously with Q-tips.
I know where this is going. I am not going to stop putting Q-tips in my ears. I don't care how much it hurts.
And we're back to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, where my opinion is anything but sportsmanlike. Of course, we're on the great campus of SUNY Plattsburgh, where I believe it's still cold outside, folks, and it's wet. Yeah, not fun walking to class, and that will be like that for the next couple days. Saw the guys paving in some parts of the road today, trying to get my check, and just the water was not meshing well in the cars, and now there's a lot of potholes and a lot of roads, so be careful out there, everybody, because it's not pretty. It's not a great drive. All right, let's get back to it. Still have a lot to cover. Still have a couple guests still coming in a short amount of time, but let's stay with the NFL, and we have a certain somebody who believes that he will outrush Adrian Peterson next year. Who is this guy? Well, that's the cocky, the confident Chris Johnson. Why? Shout out Brooks Maxson. Why? Why would you go out on TV and say, yeah, I'm pretty sure, quote, sure, I will outrush Adrian Peterson next year. Okay, hold on. Let's first off make sure you stay on the field the whole year next year, not be injured, and not pretend like there's no guards or line in front of you. I love that meme, by the way, where what we see on TV and what Chris Johnson sees are two completely different things. Last year, Chris Johnson, 276 carries, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson, 348 carries, almost breaks the record, 2,097 yards, 12 touchdowns. All right, Let's hold the phone for a second. Chris Johnson, you have Jake Locker on your team. Adrian Peterson, Christian Ponder. Who do I trust to throw the ball? Jake Locker over Christian Ponder. Which team is going to throw the ball more? Christian Ponder and the Vikings or Jake Locker and the Titans? Jake Locker and the Titans. So right now, you're 0 for 2. There's just a limited chance right now for you to catch up and break AP, because I believe AP will have another stellar year. Not as high. I'm feeling 1,800 yards, a solid 1,800 yards of Adrian Peterson next year. He's going to try out to do himself. That's too much pressure on him. Don't ruin what you got, AP. You'll be fine. You don't have to worry about Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson will not finish in the top 3 in rushing, because once again, my point is Chris Johnson is on a passing team with he's a great running back. I'll give him that. He's been in the league for 4 years now. Career stats are almost over, 1,400 carries, almost 7,000 yards, 44 touchdowns, comparing to Adrian Peterson, who's been in the league for 5 years, one more year, 1,700 carries, almost 9,000 yards, and 76 touchdowns. 76 touchdowns in 5 years. 76. How amazing is that? 76 touchdowns in 5 years. 12 this year. Simply incredible. That's just astonishing. 76 touchdowns in 1 year is an accomplishment to say the least. Not counting last year, 64 touchdowns. Not counting last year, folks. 64 touchdowns. Divide that by 4. He's averaging, besides last year, 16 touchdowns a year. 16 a year. Wow. How? This is incredible. So, Chris Johnson, I'm going to answer your question in the boldest way I can. Will Chris Johnson outrush Adrian Peterson next year? No. It's a flat out no. It will not happen, with an asterisk of Adrian Peterson getting hurt, and that's the only way you will outrush Adrian Peterson if Adrian Peterson gets hurt, and that's not going to happen next year. He's going to play a bit conservative, 1,800 yards on the year. You will barely break 1,000. Calling that right now, barely break 1,000. Calling 1,100 yards out of Chris Johnson. He's going to be more of that guy with the goal line and score. Watch out for that. Quickly now, I know, a lot of football today. Not usually the guy to talk football, but we're going to quickly get over to Geno Smith, quarterback, West Virginia. Heck of a year he had this year. Thoughts of him going top 10? It's possible. It's definitely possible someone could reach up and get Geno Smith. Will they, though? That's up for debate. In my opinion, that's up for debate on whether or not he's worth the risk. But back to the case of Manti Te'o, I said Bills and Jets might be stupid enough to get Manti Te'o. Here's the next point. I think the Jets or the Bills could be stupid enough to get Geno Smith. You seeing a trend here? Yeah. Bills and Jets are the most gullible teams in the whole entire league. Let's go with the Bills side. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick had one good year. Give me the money. You gave him the money, and now he stinks. Jets. Do I have to start with anything for the Jets? Terrible. They are the worst when it comes to drafting, re-signing players, not re-signing players, letting players go, cutting players, hiring coaches, firing coaches, getting Tim Tebow. And I love Tim Tebow to death, but come on. You didn't use him right. Shame on you. You made him look terrible. He's not terrible. He's not very good, but he's not terrible. Anyway. Geno Smith, top 10 or not? Great question. I think he will be. I think the talks were Kansas City, but no longer anymore. But I think he will be top 15. I'm going to go top 15. Maybe he'll sneak into the top 10 somehow. Someone might trade up. So that's a possibility too. So watch out for that. But yeah, I'm going top 15. Geno Smith. He proved it last year that he's a phenomenal quarterback. Got some speed, has some throwing ability. But if you're going to compare it to RG3, then we need to back off a little bit. First off. Number two, be a little worried. If you're going to say, oh, he's like an RG3. Yeah, hurt. Yeah, hurt bad. Really bad. On several occasions. So, yeah. Not good at all. Great quarterback. Has some great speed. Doesn't know when to hold off the gas, put on the brake, and calm down. So, back to Geno Smith. Top 15 pick, in my opinion. Now we have a question being sent right now from Josh Silverberg, one of my good friends. One I've already answered. What would the Jets get from the 49ers in draft picks if the trade were to happen? I believe it would just be the original second round pick from the 49ers. They already have the Kansas City Chiefs pick. Just give them your original second round pick. Benefits both of you. I mean, you'd get another pick, I believe, maybe in next year's whatever, probably another conditional scenario, or maybe a late 6th pick. But that all depends, though, if the 49ers want to take the risk, get injury, head case, Darrelle Revis. And your second question, and now we're going to finally segue into basketball. His second question is, do you think the Knicks can hold on to beat the Nets in the Atlantic Division? Last night was proving that the Knicks don't have a good defense. I think that's clear, and that's on everyone's mind now. Especially Knicks fans, you're thinking, and their second string is not very good at all. Not very good at all. So a little cause for concern, in my opinion. So, in my case, yes, I believe the Knicks can hold on. I believe they'll click at the right time, which will add them in hold of the division. Playoffs-wise for the Knicks, now you need to start thinking. Right now you lost Sheed for the year. He hasn't played since December 13th, so it doesn't really matter. But you lost Sheed. You may lose other guys. I don't know where the Knicks are going to end up in the playoff scenario. When it comes down to it, I still think they're going to be, I believe, a 3rd or 4th seed. 3rd or 4th. Unless they fall. Knicks are making the playoffs. Without a question. They will not be an 8th, 7th, or 16th. They will not be the number 1 seed or the number 2. So that leaves 3, 4, and 5. And right now that's key for the Knicks because Knicks are good in Madison Square Garden. You want a home series for Knicks fans. For every Knick. For the city of New York. You need home series. You need some home advantage. I mean, it would only be for one round. But your goal right now is to focus and to get out of the first round. Because right now, last year was just dismal against the Heat. Mind you, it was the Heat who did win it all last year, so you can proudly say, if you want to say it proudly, that you lost to the NBA champion, Miami Heat, which probably will be again this year, your 2013 NBA champion, the Miami Heat. And that's what we're going to segue into right now, is the Miami Heat are on a roll. They are on cruise control at this point. I knew they were good. I knew they were great. But domination is what can be synonymous with the Miami Heat now. And LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. Doesn't matter who. There's always that three you can rely on now. And that's the best thing about it. LeBron's averaging 27 a game. And then you have... It's just dominance of these guys. Right now, you're completely ahead of the game. Right now, there's no question that you will be the number 1 seed. Right now, you're 41-14 on the year. Wow. Amazing. Do we feeling 60 wins? Yes, I am. I'm feeling 60 wins from this team. 70? No. 60 wins. I'm feeling 60 out of this team. 61 or 2. They're just too good. No one can match up to this Miami Heat team. Like I said, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and then you have a great, incredible defense. And I thought I would never be saying this, but the Miami Heat have a completely dominant defense, and not to mention three-point shooters with Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Ray Allen, of course. It's just a dominant team. No one's going to stop them on their path of destruction. But right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 93.9 WQKE, Plattsburgh, New York. And we're back to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I haven't heard that one yet. We have a special guest in the studio right now, KJ Kalik Parker. How's it going, Kalik?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You guys have a big, huge game coming up. You got into the NCAA tournament, Division III. On top of that, a home game. Thoughts on the fact that you got in?
Oh man, I can't even put it in words. When we were watching the selection on the website, it was just like an amazing feeling seeing Plattsburgh go up there onto the bracket, and I just can't even explain the feeling. It was just very exciting, very a great moment for us, and we just knew right then and there, it's time to get to business, time to get to work.
And the fact of the matter, you have a home playoff game. You're 11-1 at home.
Right.
How big is it for you to be in front of these Plattsburgh Cardinals fans?
Oh man, huge. We feel like it's really gonna be big for the town. It's gonna be big for the school. It's gonna be big for the fans, for our team. We really feel like we can make a push into this tournament, and we really believe we can do it.
Now, in the semifinals game, you were the headliner, basically. You were the star of the show. Should we see more of that come Saturday?
Most definitely. I don't expect anything less, honestly. Me as well as my team, we expect to rise to the occasion and get the win, definitely.
Because a few weeks ago, the John Perez injury was just shockwaves around campus, and people thought, oh, okay, maybe a decline, maybe not get into this tournament. And you pulled it out. Everyone's just stepped up. Talk about some of the players that just stepped up for John.
Well, with John going down, unfortunately, the guys that come off the bench, they knew what they would have to step up and fill that void and make up for what John brings to the table as far as rebounding and scoring for us. Just flat out playing hard. But one thing we do have more than any other team, in my opinion, is we have a lot of depth, and our bench is really deep. So, us guys stepping up really wasn't that much of a problem for us. Like John going down, it was unfortunate, but it's almost like we didn't miss a beat.
On top of that, just the chemistry of your team. I call the games for PSTV, and there's just something different about your team that's just I don't know what it is. It's it's simply incredible. And now you're facing Hassan this week, and there's two guys I want to spotlight for them is Mark Zawarchek, or Chuck, who's their big man of the team, 11-6 a game, and Eric Medica. Now, do you have any plans for these two guys? Because they're their leading scorers. Medica's the Defensive Player of the Year in the NAC.
Not really. We coming into every game, we know we have to do what we got to do regardless of who we're playing. Yeah, like we heard about the big guy, the 6'10" kid. But at the same time, like I said, we come in and do what we have to do, and I feel like we'll beat anybody and play hard against anybody. But as far as any game plans or anything, not really. Just go out there and play hard.
Has Coach been more of a relaxed, the fact that you got in, or has he just been keeping with it? Has it been the same intensity throughout?
Definitely. He definitely kept up the intensity, if not more. Now that we're into the tournament, he's definitely making us focus more on practice, making us less mistakes, more focus, and just stay together. And it's late in the season, guys sore and guys' bodies is not at what it was in November, but this is the time to focus and the time to really get your rest and really go after it in practice.
All right, that's just it's gonna be a hard fought battle. What time is it? 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's 7 o'clock on the campus of SUNY Plattsburgh Memorial Hall. Everyone, make sure to attend. It's gonna be a packed house. Without a doubt,
it's gonna be exciting, electric.
This is how many years have you been here?
This is my first year.
Your first year, and you're in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. All right. Mike's all yours. Feelings, because you must be just shaking in those sneakers now.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man. My last 2 years, I was at junior college in Hudson Valley. I did very well there. I experienced great success there. But, I was able to lead my team to regionals, but it was nothing like, that was our conference tournament. We wasn't able to make nationals. So, being here in this, being at a university and just being my first year here and actually being part of the national tournament, NCAA tournament, not many people can say that. So it's definitely an exciting feeling. It's definitely a great opportunity and a great moment, and it's going to be a great experience, something new. But I definitely look forward to taking full advantage of it and just really, going all the way with it.
Yeah, I noticed. I looked at the roster. I was doing a senior night, but you don't have one senior on this team. How big is it to have everyone coming back?
Huge. We know SUNY X is ours next year. Unfortunately, we lost to a great team in Cortland. Yeah. But then again, Cortland had 5 seniors that's been working for it ever since they've been there. So it was a good loss, and I really got to commend them because they worked hard for it. They deserve it. So like I said, we're going to be in that position next year. Our seniors are going to be there ready to get our SUNY X championship. So it's huge for us that everyone's coming back, and I think the conference knows it's going to be, Plattsburgh.
They're afraid now?
Yeah, definitely.
Now I just want to get you relaxed now, get this basketball thing off your mind. Focus more the NBA aspect, and I talked to you before about you being a Knicks fan. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry went off.
Crazy.
Can you please explain why? Because your team still won, mm-hmm. but how do you let him just 11 for 13 behind the three-point arc?
I don't know, man. I feel like everyone just goes off on the Knicks. I feel like everyone has their best games against the Knicks. I don't know what it is. It must be the air in Madison Square Garden or something. But he had a great game though. Got to give it to him. He did his thing. It was fun to watch. But ultimately, I'm glad we pulled the win off.
Now, is there cause for concern at all? Because a lot of ESPNs have been saying how your defense isn't all there now. Playoffs are around the corner. Mm-hmm. Is this something that needs to be focused on now?
Definitely. Our consistency can definitely, be better. Our defensive lack definitely it shows in games when we lose games like Wizards and Raptors. When we lose games like that, it's come on, we should be blowing these teams out. But it definitely makes you wonder how we're gonna do when it comes to the playoffs. If we're losing to teams like that. But I think if we can just pull it together these last couple of months and get ready for playoffs, I feel like we'll be all right.
Now, Rasheed's hasn't played since December 13th, and is going to be out until after the first round of the playoffs.
Right. If
you're able to get that far, how big of an impact is him being off? Because he is up in age.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be a big impact to us because the Knicks as well have a lot of depth. You know, they have a lot of players that can step up. And having Amari back, you know, it's like when we had Rasheed, we didn't have Amari. And now we have Amari, we don't have Rasheed. So I feel like it definitely is. It's a little impact, but not a huge one. I feel like if we can get past the first round and give Rasheed time to rest up and come back, I feel like he'll come back when it matters.
Now you mentioned Amari Stoudemire. I mean, this guy from being top notch on the Suns, going to the Knicks, Melo coming now, him punching a fire extinguisher, and then just basically a demise. Now this is the rise of him. Are we going to expect more now from Amari?
I would hope so, and I would think so. I think he knows in his mind he definitely has to make up for what he did last year. I feel like that was very, you know, he's one of the leaders on the team, especially last year, and you know, acting out like that and doing something like that, you know, that's really not, you know, any type of leadership. But I feel like this year he really knows what he has to do, and he really has to, like, you know, buckle down. I feel like he matured a lot, and I think he just knows that it's time for him to step up and really help lead this team.
Now, where do you see the Knicks finishing when it's all said and done? Are they top 4 for the playoffs? Are they going deep?
I feel like it's going to be Miami, New York in the third round.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Are they pulling it out?
Yeah, they pull it out.
Yeah?
Yep.
We'll see about that. Because the Heat are rolling. Yeah, I mean, what is it? How many straight now?
Oh, man, I don't know. But
10,
LeBron is playing. He's playing at a high level right now. Definitely.
I mean, from him being questioned as in he's unproven, fourth quarter, yada, 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 to he's just shutting everyone up.
Right.
MVP?
Definitely. I'd give LeBron the MVP. Yeah, definitely.
No Durant.
The Thunder, they're also playing at a high level right now. They're playing very good. I don't know. That's always a tough call. Last year it was a tough call.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it, man, it's like you can give it to either one of these guys any year in, year out. You can give it to LeBron every year. You can give it to Durant every year. You know, you can give it to Kobe every year. But I really feel like it's just, you know, the guys that really step up and just take it to a whole nother level that really deserves it, you know, and really works hard for it.
Yeah, but there's one guy that's not playing right now who is in question as if he should play or not, and that's Derrick Rose. Now, he's MVP caliber. Now, let's say he was playing. Should the Bulls be number one, or would they be going toe-to-toe with the Heat if Derrick Rose was on?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Bulls beat the Heat a couple times without Rose. I know they beat us a couple times without Rose. But, yeah, the Bulls, they're definitely, like, taking down the top teams in the East without Rose. So, with him, I definitely feel like they would be contenders, you know. But in the postseason, I'm not too sure. Especially deep, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But quickly to college basketball, upset again when it's the trend this year. Penn State over number 4 Michigan. Is there a favorite this year at all to win?
Not at all. I think that's what's going to make this year so interesting. There's no dominant team. Everyone can beat anyone any given night, you know. So, no, not at all. No favorite.
Do you have a Final Four prediction? Who's going to win it all?
Oh, man. Win it all? Well, I think I can see Michigan State there. I think I can see Indiana in it. I don't want to say Duke. I don't think Duke is going to get there at all. I actually like Miami. I'm not going to lie. I really like the way they're playing this year. And that 4th spot, I don't know, man. That's tough. I really don't want to say Duke because I really don't think Duke is going to be able to get there at all. I might even be Michigan. Might be Michigan State. I don't really see Kentucky or Kansas really doing anything. It's neither Syracuse. I don't know. Maybe even Georgetown. Georgetown is looking pretty tough. So it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be definitely tough to call.
Yeah.
These brackets everyone makes. Who knows, man? It's gonna be.
I'm calling Indiana out in the round of 16.
Really?
Wow. I'm going that bold.
Oh, okay.
I mean, from Duke last year was just, and I was able to watch that. That was just. Shocking. And then Missouri too. I mean, but I'm not high on the top notch guys, but Miami, like you said, I'm picking them to win it all.
Yeah, really.
they got something on that team. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. It's like they're big, they're fast, they're good.
They're a football school. This shouldn't be happening.
Right. And their point guard, I don't know his name, the Spanish kid, the little short Spanish kid. I like him. He's really quick. He really runs the floor good. And honestly, I see them beating Duke again Saturday. Yeah? Oh, yeah, definitely.
Even in the home?
Oh, yeah. I can see them beating Duke in Duke. Yeah.
Shutting up the fans.
I mean, just the first time they played them, it's not like they didn't only upset them. They blew them out. They embarrassed them. So it was... with that game being said, I really feel like they can beat them again.
All right. Now, I'm going to need your little help right now because there's finals CVAC Class B basketball going on 3 hours before your game at Fieldhouse. And it's two of my boys going at it, Keegan Ryan of Beatmantown and Hunter Bruno of Peru. Any advice for those two, both seniors, and actually Keegan's getting recruited by Tom.
Really?
Mm-hmm. 6'6". Any advice for these two guys
going into this game?
Going into the game, play your game. It's you've done it a million times. Don't go into the game thinking you have to dominate. You have to take over. Let the game come to you. And just go into it with clear thoughts. And you'll do fine. This game is obviously big for both of them. So there's probably a lot of pressure on them, putting their names on the radio is already, it's pressure. So, like I said, just go in and play in your game. You've just done this a million times, night in, night out. So it's just, you're used to it now, and just do what you do. That's the motivation you're taking, too, definitely. For the Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I can't even take my own advice right now, honestly, But it's just an exciting feeling, man. Just to be able to play in big games like this. Not everybody gets that chance to do this, so it's definitely exciting.
Now back to your game, real quick. Percentage of you guys winning this game, because next round's Amherst. If you do win, what's percentage that you guys should win this game?
85.
85?
Yeah, 85.
Solid 85.
15. I give that 50% to all the media. All the commercials, the atmosphere, and I feel like once we get the jitters out and we calm down and relax, I feel like we'll take care of them.
11-1 at home is unprecedented.
Yeah.
I mean it's a top-notch spot, but you've been getting crowds.
Yeah.
Every game, and Bergie's going wild every game too.
Yeah.
And question about Tom Curl. It's like he's dancing over there every time. I mean, one of my buddies, my co-anchor when we call the games, he likes to say traffic cop Tom Curl or jazz hands Tom Curl. What's up with that? Why is he so of an animated coach?
I think it's because of me.
It's because of you.
Now, Coach, he's really passionate about what he does, and he's really passionate about what he's saying. If he sees something that you can do better or get better at, he'll explain it the best way he can, even if it's physically, as you guys see. So that's probably why he really gets into it, and I can say he gets excited too about the crowd and the atmosphere. And he wants to win so bad that he just he doesn't care who's watching or who's looking at him. He'll just get his point across any way he can, even if it's to the refs.
Now, percentage he throws a chair.
I don't know.
We've been debating that this whole year.
I'd say that's probably a low percentage. That's probably low. He'll probably throw Coach Cam before he throws a chair, honestly.
Yeah, we're thinking that, man. But thank you, KJ Kalik, for coming on the show.
No problem.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Calling the game. Campus Chen, Charleston 17, Memorial Hall, facing Husson, NCAA tournament. This is Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 93.9 WQKE. We're back to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, making this really quick. Gotta be somewhere really fast. Keeping KJ Kalik on the show for this last topic. Danica Patrick finishing in top 10, first woman to ever do that in NASCAR. Now, I'm segueing way off this, but chances of a woman joining a male-dominant sport, is there a chance that a woman can join the NFL, NBA, MLB? Thoughts on that?
I'd say NASCAR. A female can definitely join NASCAR. Any sport that demands physical, contact and demanding from your body. No, I could not see a female in the NFL. But the amount of contact and amount of force that's used to play. I just couldn't see that. NBA, I don't know. I don't really see. I like you said, Brittany Griner is probably the only, physically certified female that would probably. But even her, I mean, I couldn't see her down low going toe to toe with Blake Griffin or Dwight Howard.
That's
or
a bad sight.
So I feel like it'd just be dangerous for them. I really, I feel like it would change the game. Guys probably wouldn't take it serious and go as hard as they should be going. I just don't feel like it'd be good for the game if mix. That's like putting a male into the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? But sports like golf, NASCAR, tennis, hockey, like I feel like that those are sports that are for women that that don't demand like the type of physical attributes like it does for football or basketball. And as far as MLB, I don't know. I don't really see a female hitting 100 miles per hour fastball down the middle.
They do pitch fast.
But man, I don't know. Softball, I feel like that's their sport. I feel like they do it well, and I feel like keeping the sports, separate and each, in the right gender is the right way to go.
I just have a bad feeling it's going to happen.
Really?
With baseball, because baseball's on the decline right now for media and everything. No one goes to a baseball game anymore. Just imagine on this lower level, let's say like Astros. Don't have anybody. Pick up a girl.
Something to bring attention.
Yeah. And she turns out to be pretty good.
Well, man, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like the more technologically advanced we get, I feel like that's the more decline it goes for sports. You go to a game now, everyone's looking at their phones on texting, Facebook, Instagram. You go to a game 20 years ago, everyone's into the game, passionate fans, and it's just different now. Times is different now, so I feel like it's just something that probably would happen just to bring attention to the, like you said, to the team or to the sport. So who knows?
It's a shame with your point of the media, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a baseball game, like last year. I mean, whole section was just not paying. I mean, it was Yankees Brewers and Yankees dominated, but no, it's just terrible now how everyone's not paying attention. And even the baseball itself, no one seems to pay attention until it's September, October, because they'll just jump on a bandwagon because you're a Yankee or a Boston fan, and everything else doesn't matter at that point.
Exactly.
But that's gonna do it for me tonight. I want to thank Kalik Parker for stopping by.
No problem, man.
Best of luck to you. Thank you for listening to Daddy T's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 93.9 WQKE, Plattsburgh, New York.